All right, this is Attorney Walter Knott. Let's get right into it. There was an individual who got caught, breaking news, stealing Social Security funds. Let me read to you the title. Now, on a scale of 0 to, doesn't sound like it wouldn't happen, sounds like it would happen. This is exactly the location, the type of situation, everything that would actually occur with this. This is, let me just read you the sentence real quick. And this is straight from the Office of Inspector General, okay? Suburban Chicago man indicted for allegedly fraudulently obtaining Social Security benefits. How surprised are you? I mean, I read the title and I was not so surprised. It just, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I would expect suburban Chicago to have a little of that jazz going on. That's if you were like, Freeport, Maine, yeah, I could see that too. If you were like, Bithlo, Florida, I'd be like, well, that's just standard operating procedure. That's how it works. You know what I mean? All right, U.S. Attorney's Office, Northern District of Illinois, Chicago, suburban Chicago man, has been charged in federal court with fraudulently obtaining Social Security benefits in the name of his deceased father. What a surprise! We're so surprised. All right, here we go. A grand jury sitting in Chicago has indicted Richard Young Jr., 61, not so young, of Maywood, Illinois. That's a nice place. On 4 counts of bank fraud and 1 count of embezzlement of government funds. Young pled not guilty during his arraignment on Friday before U.S. Magistrate Judge Young B. Kim in Chicago. A status hearing before the U.S. District Judge John F. Ness has been scheduled for July 23, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. All right. These claims are usually pretty cut and dry. Retirement benefits, stolen, used by somebody. What do the cameras show? Where was the money taken out of the ATM? Yada, yada. According to the indictment, Young's father died in 2006. 7 years later, Young filed an application with the Social Security Administration for benefits in the name of his deceased father. This might not even be retirement. I'm assuming this is retirement. Unaware that the purported applicant was deceased, the Social Security Administration granted the application and began issuing benefits, his retirement benefits, effectually paying them via direct deposit into a bank account in the deceased father's name, the indictment states. From 2015 to 2021, Young accessed approximately $178,683 from the account and used the money to make purchases at casinos, restaurants, gas stations, retail stores, and elsewhere, the indictment states. Real quick, okay? How do they get away with doing this for so long? You know what I mean? If the guy isn't paying, if the deceased father isn't paying and using Medicare and there's no other insurance on the table, like, how do they not, you know what I mean? Like, old people need medical treatment. Old people, medical treatment. Mwah! They go hand in hand. Insurance, right? Right in the middle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle right there. Yeah, I guess the point I'm getting at. If they don't have insurance, they're not paying for insurance. How does the SSA not find this faster? I guess there actually was quite a bit of fraud going on in the United States. I'm not trying to say there wasn't. I'm trying to say there was. The indictment was announced by Andrew S. Boutros, United States Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, and Michelle L. Anderson, Assistant Inspector General for Audit at the Social Security Administration, Office of the Inspector General. Good job, Michelle Anderson. You did a good job there. Good job. The government is represented by Special Assistant U.S. Attorney Naranjan Imania. Mm-hmm. Some of these names are really tough to pronounce. So, Office of Inspector General, when you make your hot sheets, if you could just, I've got Anderson. I got that one. But Imani could be something else. Give me some how to pronounce. I'm just saying, just a little how to pronounce. You know what I mean? Like for example, okay, Michelle L. Anderson, got it. Andrew S. Boutros, is that Boutros? Is that Boutros? Is that Boutros? Is that Boutros? A little French on there, a little. Hey. No, I don't know. I felt like I put a little bit too much fancy cheese on that one. Andrew S. Boutros. The government is probably not French at all. The government is represented by Special Assistant U.S. Attorney Naranjan Imani. The indictment, quote, accuses Mr. Young of fraudulently obtaining benefits for years from a critically important retirement program, said U.S. Attorney Boutros. Social Security fraud threatens the very foundation of a program that many millions of hardworking Americans depend upon in retirement, and which taxpayers fund through their hard-earned income. My office will continue to work closely with our law enforcement partners to identify, investigate, and prosecute anyone who seeks to fraudulently obtain Social Security or other program benefits. The fraud is rampant when it comes to Social Security benefits. Okay? The public is reminded that an indictment is not evidence of guilt. The defendant is presumed innocent and entitled to a fair trial at which the government has the burden of proving guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Each count of bank fraud is punishable by up to 30 years in federal prison, while the embezzlement count is punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Look at it. Whoa, look at this. Whoa, look at this. They put a little PDF thingy on there. We're going to have to check that PDF out a little bit later. If it's not the case details, I'll log into Pacer, and if the case is sealed, I can't deliver the information, but if it's unsealed, I'll deliver more information on what's going on with it. But they might have done that here. The Young Indictment PDF, it could just be this article in PDF form, but if they did that, that's a really big step for OIG. That's a really amazing step, because that allows me to have access to it and other people access to it, and it's meant to be published. Whereas when I go into Pacer, I got to check and make sure I'm allowed to say what's in there. Because, as an attorney, I have to make sure that I'm releasing information that can be disclosed. A lot of it's protected. All right, with that said, I'm Attorney Walter Knott, Disability Resolution PA, the most viewed, clicked on, and subscribed to Disability Attorney in America. What do you think is fair with this person? 15 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? To me, if you're stealing funds like that, 15 years. 15 years. You applied for retirement benefits for a person who had already deceased. Nobody knows what happened to the deceased person, realistically. So now it's a situation where, realistically, you stole under $200,000. It's from a program that is like, I don't know. Honestly, it feels like it's endangered. It just feels like it's endangered at this point. Like it's on the extreme endangerment program. The Social Security Administration bird is endangered. Please do not feed it crackers, So the bottom line is, saltines. Saltines not good. Not good for flying objects. With that said, unless it's soup and you just wing it. So, all right. With that said, what do you think would be a good punishment for that? Okay, don't wing it. All right, anyways, I will catch you a little bit later. Please remember to like. Please remember to subscribe. Please head over to Google and type in Disability Resolution Law Firm or Disability Resolution Florida. Throw some stars up there on the company page if you want to. Totally up to you. And I love waking up to the 5Zs. So anyways, I will catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful night. Please remember to go live on Mondays and Thursdays to answer questions for free. And then keep in mind also, if you need a full 1 hour consultation where you tell me an issue, walk me through a problem, then basically I can talk you through what you can do, what the rules are, etc. The mini little PDF for the mini contract is below in the bio. I will catch you a little bit later, Attorney Walter Knott, and we will rock and roll from there. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.